calm. Be calm. Hello, and welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today I've got this thing on because I just recorded a thing that was weird, and maybe I'll post it on the show. Everything's gone crazy, hasn't it, gang? I haven't, at least not completely yet. Let me remove this. Actually, no, I kind of like this. Maybe I'll leave this on. What do you think? Okay, no, we're back. I took off the headdress. Everything's going insane. I'm going to try to keep some semblance of normalcy for the Sunday stuff and things. We have things to discuss, things to talk about. You may notice I don't have my table. Everything's a little different right now. I'm in the middle of my move, and so I just took this opportunity to record this really quickly in my apartment right now as I'm going through things, getting things packed up. It's all happening. The big push starts this weekend. It's going to go through next weekend. So I want to keep you guys informed about what's going to be going on, and then we'll talk about some of the things that obviously we probably should talk about on this crazy Sunday stuff and things. As I mentioned, as I've been warning you and sort of getting you ready for in the past, I am moving. My fiance and I are moving into a place together. We found a place. It's fairly nice, fairly close. Seems like it has what we're looking for, but it's going to be a lot of work getting everything moved into there. And so this week, we have the Sunday Stuff and Things that you're watching right now. We are going to continue with Stuff and Things Plays. All those videos are continuing as normal, as scheduled. This Wednesday, we will have, or this coming Wednesday, we will have a video that I've already recorded. I need to edit. I recorded it quite a while ago, and it's me trying to skateboard for the first time. We had that video where I was showing you me setting that skateboard up, and I had recorded me kind of my first attempts at jumping up on it and rolling around and everything, and I'd sort of just banked that thinking I may never use it, but enough of you said that you'd be interested in seeing that. You can see an ancient man, you know, fuddle around on a skateboard and look like a maniac. We're gonna put that up this coming week on Wednesday. Next week, though, that's when things are going to get really crazy. That's when we're renting the big truck and everything's going to be just kind of hellish for a while. And so I can't guarantee that there will be any videos on the main stage, not this coming week, but the week after. We'll see. I may be able to get something kind of vloggy up. My computer is going to be all ripped apart. My whole workstation is going to be ripped apart. I may not have internet for a while. There may be a gap. And so it's all kind of up in the air. I hope that you will bear with me. I know that most of you, or many of you, don't have anything better to do other than kind of stay sequestered in your homes and watch YouTube videos because everything has gone mad lately. Last week we talked a little bit about this, and apparently now YouTube will demonetize your videos if you even mention the dreaded CT, or no, not CT, CV. So I don't know. It seems strange that you can't even talk about something that's in the news, but we're going to talk about it. Last week I was saying, don't panic, stay calm, everybody just go about your lives. I guess you guys didn't listen to my advice. Maybe you did, but most of the rest of the world did not. This week, everything has gone insane. I guess on Monday, my fiance and I had tickets to go see The Strokes in concert in Seattle. I was hugely excited. The Strokes have been one of my favorite bands since they first came out with Is This It back in 2001, I think? 2001, 2002. I've always loved them, always thought they were great, loved every album they've ever produced, and I was really excited because they had announced just a few shows in North America. They did, I think, New York, then they were gonna do Vancouver, Seattle, and then LA. And we had the opportunity to go to the Seattle show. My fiance very, very generously purchased tickets for my birthday for us to go down. And it was amazing. We went down to Seattle Monday evening, but already then on that Monday, we could see that things were getting a little weird. We were running around in Pioneer Square. If you know anything about Seattle, it's kind of this pedestrian area with all sorts of shops and restaurants and stuff. And it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock on a Monday evening, and it was a ghost town. There was nobody around at all. And we were thinking, oh, we'll go down, we'll park by WAMU Theater, which was the venue. It's right by CenturyLink Field. And we'll park there, we'll go walk around Pioneer Square, get some food, and then we'll go to the show. Every restaurant was closed. Every shop was closed. There was no one on the street at all. We finally found a Mod Pizza, and that was like the only place open. We went in there and got some food. It was crazy. And then we went into the venue. There were a lot of people wearing masks, and it was really dead at first, and it was just with the opening acts, and we thought, well, maybe people are just not gonna come. Eventually, it did get absolutely packed. It was standing room only. The show was amazing. Maybe I'll put in a quick little clip of one of the performances. They were so good. Anyway, it was an amazing experience. Really, really enjoyed it. Had a great time. But we got in right under the wire because I think the very next day, Washington Governor Jay Inslee declared a ban on all gatherings over a certain amount of people. I can't remember if it was 150 people or 250 people. So that show would have been canceled. And I'm really thankful we got to go. I was not afraid of going in any way. And I have to be careful here because everybody's freaking out, and I am not freaking out. The only thing that's causing me to be a little uptight is the way that everyone else is reacting to this. But as the week has progressed, I've seen things get worse and worse as far as the way people are behaving. Finally, yesterday, I had to go to the grocery store, not because I felt like I needed to stock my bunker with supplies for the apocalypse. No, because I had to do my normal weekly shopping that I do. I needed paper towels. I needed toilet paper. Not because I'm worried about not being able to get those things for months on end, just because I was running out and I needed them. I needed food. Went to the store, it was slammed with people. It was like some sort of crazy Mad Max situation in the parking lot where everyone was freaking out. Went inside, there were like no shopping carts. The look on everyone's face was just so intense and so stressed out. I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? I go in there, not a single stitch of toilet paper, not a single paper towel, nothing hygiene related at all. No soap, no like shower gel, anything like that. The food was getting basically canned goods and things like that, unperishables, those were getting completely cleaned out. I'm thinking, what is going on? What do people think is going to happen here? They think that suddenly the ability for the US economy to produce food is suddenly going to go away. It's not. It's going to be okay, everybody. Relax. And it's so instructive to me just how much power the media has and how much the general population can be swayed by what they hear. And I'm not going to tell you not to take precautions. I'm not going to tell you that you're going to be completely fine. You may get ill, but if you're a reasonably healthy person, you'll feel as though maybe you got the flu. That's basically what's going on right now. I've been reading actual case reports. I've been reading dispatches from the World Health Organization, from the CDC. The actual information is out there for you to look at. Don't just let the filter that the media puts in front of you be the only source of your information. Look at the other information. People talking about mortality rates, people talking about infection rates. This could be a fairly serious, think of it as like, well, no, I'm not a doctor, I don't want to give you advice, but the way I'm personally thinking about it is like a really severe flu season, where you want to be a little extra careful. You want to wash your hands, you want to avoid maybe contact that you don't need with anything that may have been touched by someone who might be ill, if you want to avoid being sick. But this is not the Black Plague, okay? You're going to be okay. You don't need to clean the store out of toilet paper. But then what happens is everyone, even if you're not a panicky type person, you see like, oh, all the toilet paper is being bought up. I guess I better buy some too, just in case I can't get any later. And then it snowballs and it compounds, and then suddenly you're me at the grocery store yesterday thinking, how the hell am I going to take a shit? Like, there's no toilet paper left anymore. What's going on? So it's just this really creepy glimpse into the mob mentality that can develop amongst a population. And it's really interesting to me to see the difference between this and the way people reacted to the swine flu and SARS and MERS and the bird flu and all these different outbreaks that have happened in the past. And you guys can talk all you want about how the mortality rates and infection rates and everything else compare. But the fact of the matter is, I think that the media is doing their best to pump this up. And I think that they have reasons for doing that. And it's just interesting to compare from other outbreaks, other, quote, pandemics that have happened in the past. Basically, you're probably going to be fine. So just relax, okay? Don't freak out. All right, we're going to have a reading now from Peter Straub's The Throat. I guess to take our minds off the apocalypse that's happening outside, we'll read something nice about a major conflict in U.S. history. How about that? Peter Straub is an award-winning author, a good friend, a viewer of the Stuff and Things channel, and he has given us permission to read from The Throat every single week, and we will continue now. Last week, our hero was going to be buying recreational substances, I think, and we pick it up there. I walked out of the shed into the amazing noontime heat. When I went around the fence that isolated us, I saw soldiers lining up at the distant mess hall, at the dusty walkways and the rows of wooden buildings, the 2 ballroom-sized tents, the flags. A jeep was rolling towards the gate. By the time I reached the gate, I was sweating hard. There was no guardhouse or checkpoint, only a lone soldier beside the dirt road. The road out of the main part of the camp extended straight through a warren of ramshackle buildings and zigzag streets. The military road was the only straight thing in sight. 200 yards away, in harsh, brilliant light, I saw a real checkpoint with a flag and a guardhouse and a striped metal gate. The jeep was just beginning to approach the checkpoint, and a guard stood in front of the gate to meet it. I was aware of being watched as soon as I passed through the gate. It was like stepping out of the elevator into a men's suit department. Beside a hand-painted sign reading Heinbecken Cold Beer Rock? Heinbecken Cold Beer Rock. A Vietnamese boy in a white shirt lounged in a narrow doorway. An old woman carried a full basket of laundry down a steep flight of stairs. Vietnamese voices floated down from upper rooms. 2 nearly naked children, one of them different from the other in a way I did not take the time to figure out, appeared at my legs and began whining for dala, dala. By the time I reached the bubble sign, 5 or 6 children had attached themselves to me, some of them still begging for dala, others drilling questions at me in an incomprehensible mixture of English and Vietnamese. 2 girls leaned out the windows of bubble and watched me pass beneath the sign. There you are, a reading from Peter Straub's The Throat. Now, I know that this is kind of an unsettled Sunday Stuff and Things. It's not quite the same format, not quite the same mood or vibe as a typical Sunday Stuff and Things. I don't have my pipe with me right now because I'm in the middle of packing, and I hope that you can all forgive me that. But there are things coming up on the channel. As I said, it's going to be unsettled for a week or 2, and things may be a little more haphazard, I guess. I'm going to still try to be as professional as possible with posting videos. I want to thank everyone again. We've lost a couple Patreon supporters at the $25 tier, so there is room for people to jump in there and get a shout out every week. But I just wanted to thank everyone who has stayed with me on Patreon. I really appreciate it. And I wanted to do a little personal message to Michael, who is a Maniacs supporter. It's time for us to talk again soon, and I was trying to schedule with Michael for this weekend to speak. And Michael, reach out to me and let me know when you can, because after this week, the next week or 2 may be kind of tough. I am going to be speaking to Peter tomorrow, or actually today as you're watching this, and I always look forward to these conversations that I get to have with people like you out there who are supporting the channel, and it's nice to have a little check-in and see, like, how am I doing? How's it going? Especially for people who are, I guess, really going above and beyond the pale to support. I feel like it's my responsibility to know, like, are you still there? You still liking it? What's going on? Let me know. And of course, I enjoy all the comments that I get on YouTube videos and through Patreon as well from everyone who is engaged and active. Let me know how everything's going. I also was looking for a little bit of advice. We're moving into our new place, and I guess the doors, well, what I'm assuming is that there used to be carpet in this place, and then the carpet was taken out and vinyl flooring was installed, which of course has left big gaps everywhere under all the doors. And I've been looking at some options on Amazon just for, you know, soundproofing, weatherproofing, making sure that heat stays where I want heat to stay and cold doesn't go where I don't want cold to go. And I've been looking at some of these like underdoor gap fillers and stuff like that. And I was just wondering if any of you out there had experience with any of these products. And if you did, let me know which ones you liked, because I'm looking on Amazon right now and there are 1,000 different solutions. And it's always hard to just trust an Amazon review. So I'm asking you, give me some advice on filling like over an inch gap on some of these doors. I see some options that are kind of like these stick-on, I guess, sort of PVC things. I guess you could put them on either side of the door. And then there are those big, like, filled socks that you could just shove in front of the door. I don't know. There are a lot of options out there, so I'm curious to know. And also, we were looking into this peel and stick wallpaper. So it already has adhesive installed on the paper. And I guess it's sort of like a vinyl. And you apparently can stick it on and then peel it off without any residue. Have any of you used that, and does it actually work? Before I shell out, you know, like $40 for a roll, I want to know that it actually does the job. So thank you for that. Let me know. All right, like I said, this is kind of a different Sunday Stuff and Things. We're just going by the seat of the pants here. I don't have my notes with me. We're not in our usual place, but we still want to do our hashtag #AskStuffandThings part of the show. If you have a question for me and you would like it answered on the Sunday Stuff and Things, tweet at @SATBradley with the hashtag #AskStuffandThings, and I will do my best to answer you. We have a question from Alterian Star at BenStar21, and this is a question I get all the time. I think I've answered it quite a few times, maybe obliquely, but people always ask, I live in Washington, but I haven't found out how to buy tea online. How do you buy yours online? This is something that I don't understand, and I'm not getting on you, Alterian Star, for asking this question, but a really quick Google search, and you should be able to find your answer. Really quick. It's not hard. It's a state law that is trying to supersede federal law. The state of Washington does not have any jurisdiction over the U.S. Postal Service. I'll leave it there. Next, we have a question from Ted of Chevrolet of Murfreesboro. All right, at Chevrolet of. Hashtag #AskStuffandThings. Ted here. Love your channels. 2 questions. Where did you get your red Sigurd shirt? Hey, look at that. Talk about, what's the word I'm looking for? Serendipity, maybe? And why don't you review video games on SAT Plays? I know what is, and I know what ain't is. And you ain't is what you say you is. Is, and ain't. All right, Ted. And then he has part 3 of question. I swear this is the last one. Will you be playing Elden Ring once it's released on SAT Plays? Me and my father are huge astronomical fans of the channel. Don't let us down. Don't skip my prior question as well, please. Well, thank you very much, Ted, and your father for being big viewers of Stuff and Things Plays. So the first part of the question, where did I get the red Sigurd shirt? I got this, I think I got this on Redbubble. Now, Redbubble is a company that sells printed shirts and other things online, and I think they're in Australia, and I think there's kind of a gray area about intellectual property in Australia. I'm not totally sure, but it seems like, I didn't realize this at the time, but I'd be like, oh, let me just do a Google search for a Dark Souls shirt. This is Sigurd or Siegmeyer from Dark Souls. It's a video game series. And I was like, oh, I want a shirt of that. Looked it up, found one on Redbubble. I'm like, oh, great. I purchased it. I think that these are not officially licensed. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're not officially licensed. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how you would feel about that. I'm sure there is some officially licensed Dark Souls merchandise out there. There's not a ton as far as I can see, but whether or not you feel weird about buying a shirt, I think they get around it by saying like there are just people submitting designs and we're simply a service which puts the design on a shirt for you. I guess, I don't know. It seems kind of weird to me, but Redbubble is a good choice if you don't mind that kind of thing. And then, why don't I review video games on SAT Plays? I guess for me, that channel is more just about gameplay. I've done a few videos where I've reviewed like accessories for game systems and things like that, but for the most part, it's just gameplay of me playing a game and commenting on the game while I'm playing it. I don't know that in the future we won't ever do reviews. We may, but for now, that's kind of beyond the scope of the channel. And then last, he asks, am I going to play Elden Ring once it releases? Elden Ring is the upcoming game from Software. They are the company that made all the Dark Souls games, Demon's Souls, Sekiro, Bloodborne. I'm a huge fan of their games. I'm a huge fan of that developer, and I probably will play it on the channel. I think it's a pretty good bet. Next, from Balta at Balrock. Hello, I've just acquired a Corallo pipe, but I need to clean it a bit. I've seen your videos and I know you also have a Corallo pipe. Could you please relate to the sources you read in order to clean your pipe properly? In case you don't remember the sources you use, could you please describe to me the process? Thank you very much. The Corallo pipe is a Savinelli Corallo di Mare. It is similar in look to their, oh, my phone almost dropped. Similar in look to their, what are they called now? Capri Briar. That's what they used to be called, right? The Capri Briar were the stained sort of rustication that looks similar to, several different pipe makers do a similar kind of rustication. Costello calls it Sea Rock Briar. The old school Corallo and old school Capri Briar that Savinelli did was really horny and really cool looking. It doesn't quite look the same anymore. From what I heard, the artisans who used to do that finish are dead, I think, or passed away at Savinelli. So if you get an old Corallo di Mare, it is basically a beautiful virgin wood version of that kind of Capri Briar rustication, and they have to use just, it's a Punta Oro line, but a Corallo finish, I guess is how you describe it. So there's no stain on that pipe or anything. I didn't find any information on how to clean that pipe, but I just assumed, based on the fact that there was no stain on it, that I could just use alcohol to clean it. And I could, and I did. You don't want to use alcohol on it. Oh! we just lost a light. Hold on. Okay, I think that's going to work. Like I said, we're kind of just going by the seat of the pants here. You can't use alcohol on a normal pipe, typically, because the stains on a pipe bowl and on the stem and everything else are usually alcohol-based. So if you try to clean your pipe with alcohol, you'll strip your finish right off. But with a Corallo, it's a virgin finish, and so you don't have to worry about that. And you could use rubbing alcohol, you could use like a pure grain alcohol, clean it off, then you have to give it a nice good amount of time to dry and for all that to sort of evaporate. But that's what I did, and that worked well. So check that out. I think I had a video about that, maybe? Or maybe I just showed you the pipe afterwards. It was years ago, so I'm not exactly sure. But I think that's it for questions this week. Please keep the questions coming at hashtag askstuffandthings on Twitter, also on Patreon. I love getting questions from you. I love answering them on the show. Like I said, this is posting this Sunday. On Wednesday, we will have another video. And then the week after is when things are going to get really crazy. So I may not have a Sunday Stuff and Things, or at least a traditional Sunday Stuff and Things, but please keep your questions coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much, the people who support us on Patreon. I really appreciate it. And now we come to the part of the show where we thank those people on Patreon. If you are a $25 or more supporter a month, $25 or more a month supporter, you get a special shout out every single week on the Sunday Stuff and Things. And now it is time to thank our good friends who have supported the channel at $25 or more a month. People like Glenn, Derek, Cody Striegler, Kirk Crompton, Private Eye, C.W. Piperman, Ryan McFadin, corbynborbyn, Adam Loveless, Ryan Stauffer, and AJ Hoge. Thank you. And now for the Maniacs, the crazy wild ones. who support the channels at $100 a month. People like Peter Straub. I'll be speaking to you tomorrow, Peter. Bob Magee. Thank you, Bob. And Michael Pilcher. Let me know, Michael, when you would like to talk again, because I am looking forward to doing that with you. And now, gang, stay calm, be cool, relax. I guess hoard toilet paper. No, don't hoard toilet paper. Let me buy some toilet paper. I would like to go to the store and be able to buy some toilet paper because I need to be able to wipe my ass occasionally. Just be safe, you know, take precautions, but try to relax. Try to stay calm. It's not the end of the world. Everything's going to be okay. And I will see you all soon. Until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things on a pleasant Sunday Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.